Well, all right. Well, hello, good evening, good afternoon. I am Tia Rodgers, the Take Care of Your Health, Save, Invest, and Grow Your Money Business Startup Mentor. I I apologize for the delay, guys. I've been a little missing in a little bit. I've been dabbling in other areas, trying to improve and trying to make it better as I come to you. Um, so today, we're going to talk about who I am, what I do, where I do it, when I do it, and why I do it. So we're going to start with who I am. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Tia Rodgers. I was born and raised in the city of Camden. Um, Single mom. Well, I hate to say single mom. I'm just a mom. A mom of two, and grandmother of 11. I started this journey in 2018. Um, Prior to 2018, my life was just like everyone else. I went to work, came home, struggled maintaining everything, trying to keep everything together. Worked two jobs for a little while, found out that that was not beneficial. Um, but my journey as it began prior to the 2018, starting going into business for myself, made a decision to invest in myself through taking advantage of opportunities that not only allowed me to get my life in order and get things more situated, but also to help me learn about finances and the values of financing and the importance of knowing where you are so that you can look at where you're at so that you know where you're going. I started this journey as graduated high school. After graduation, I got pregnant with my first child, got married to the father by the second child. After the second child was born, realized that like this is not going to work, had to make a decision to go and figure out how I was going to make a way for us. So as I did that along that journey, it involved me going back to school. It involved me working in various areas of human services, from childcare to nursing homes to child welfare. So a big part of who I am and where I come from and my background, given my parents were, educators, probation officers, things of that nature, um, in the helping field, I I followed suit in that area of the helping field. What really drove me to the helping field was my own personal situation with my children. When you have a partner that uh, makes decisions opposite of what you're doing, that's putting the family in a disadvantage and not in a advantaged position, I had to make some decisions. So, because there was drug involvement, I became curious about, helping those that, choose substance for their lives. We all know that if you choose substance, you're only numbing the problem. The problem's going to be right there when you come back or come back down from your high. So, um, I've learned some things over that journey. And through that process, it led me to the human services field. I graduated from Camden County College with a degree in human services and addictions counseling, which I was blessed to be able to use in the careers that I chose. So I was not one of the ones that went to school and did not work in the field in which they got earned their degree. I was blessed in that way to be able to kind of leverage and maximize and optimize my degree. So um, during that process of being a young mother, struggling to care for two children, having to figure it out, needing stable housing. Yeah, stable housing, because we were transitional for a little bit while they were little. It took us about maybe 5, almost 6 years to get stable housing through subsidized housing, which was a blessing. However, through that process, also learned how to bet on me. My story, my history, where I come from, taught me that, and if I wanted to make something out of my life, that it was going to be me that was going to have to, make the decision to figure out where I wanted to go and how I wanted to do it and what was going to be best for my family. So you're probably wondering, what is it that I actually did? Well, I spent a lot of my years just being a support person. When you're working in the health field as a CNA, I help people get ready for their everyday lives. So whether it was combing their hair, helping them take a shower, brushing their teeth, getting them dressed, getting them started for the events of their day was a large part of my responsibilities. When I transitioned into other areas, as a childcare provider, I helped children to learn. I was their first point of contact, well, maybe their second point of contact, because their parents are their first point of contact, to help them learn their ABCs, one, two, threes, how to get along, um, things of that nature. Because I work with the young children from infants to like maybe 5. And in that process, I learned how children kind of play and do everything. Being a mom myself, went back to the nursing field, did that again for a little while longer. Then I got the job of my dreams. I got to work in child welfare where I could actually be hands on and work with young parents and help them to navigate through life challenges. Now, a lot of times when our clients come through child welfare, they don't want to come. They don't want to be there. They're usually upset. So it takes a little bit. You have to earn their trust. You have to develop a relationship with them. You have to see where they are, what are their needs, and where they're at. You have to meet them where they are in order to carry them on a journey to take them to where they need to be. And a big part of that is that they have to buy into it. They have to buy into the fact that they are the driver of their life. They have to drive into the fact that the that the resources that we provide them are stepping stones along their path to help them build a better life so that they can no longer see us anymore, right? Um, Over the years, I've shared with other parents how to begin starting, how to begin investing in themselves, whether it's through a certificate deposit, whether it's through an IRA account, whether it's through a mutual fund account, um, and getting jobs where they can actually contribute towards their retirement. What I found is that a lot of young people don't look at it that way. They feel as though that they need all the money that they get out of their check. When you look at your check and you realize that it's already being taxed before you even get it, money's coming out that you don't even see. So why wouldn't you take the initiative to put some money away for yourself? So that was a big part of what I did, as far as just like provided a listening ear and allow them to discuss what their pain points were, why they were there, how did they think that they could make it better. So once they got through all the requirements of them, so that they could reunite their families and how to sustain and maintain their families afterwards. A big part of that was going through some assessments to find out where they lied in education, how far did they go in education, what type of work do they like to do or would they like to do, are they willing to go for more education to better themselves, and how to help them find and identify stable housing. Just knowing the things to look for when you go and you're looking for a house or you're looking to rent a property, how to establish those relationships, and the importance of making sure that you're paying your bills on time so that you don't end up in an eviction, or in a bad situation where your children will have to be removed from you because the only thing that you lack is housing. So it was joyful job to be able to give. Um, and because I'm a mother of two, you become a mother of all their friends and all their associates. So um, I spent a big, large portion of my life telling young people to go for their dreams, go back to school, invest in themselves. Even to this day, we still talk about how ways to invest in ourselves. Um, so that's a big part of who I am and what I do. A big part of what I do is always just listening and offering some advice to those that are navigating. I also, uh, over the years, because of my experience of caring for my parents as they became older and became ill, I learned how to navigate through some of the health systems um, and the medical systems when it comes to working with teams in the care of your loved one. Um, Also learning the process what to do when you entrust your loved one in a facility and the facility doesn't protect and keep your loved one safe. Um, I help people navigate through those channels as well and all the feelings that come up with it. Because when you're caring for your loved one, it could be a lot. It could be a lot on you mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially. It weighs on you. And it's hard to juggle your balls and juggle somebody else's balls all at the same time. Something is going to fall. So where do I do all this stuff at, right? Is where you want to know. Um, I, I I did it through my job that I had. I also did it just by being a person in the community, just someone that's, just around someone. My mother always said I have a face that looks like I give a shit. So people tend to come to me and they feel comfortable sharing some pretty personal things. And I listen and I offer advice and I make suggestions of resources that I may be aware of based off of the conversation that we have. Um, does everything work for everybody? No, not all the time. Is everyone a willing participant? No, not every time. Does everybody take the advice and do something with it? Sometimes. Sometimes they do. And those that do happen to come back and they'll let me know, like, Miss Tia, you told me to do XYZ, and I did them, and this is what's going on. So they're real excited because now they are becoming the driver of their life, and they're seeing that every decision that they make impacts not just their life, but their children's lives as well, and that our children are watching. Our children tend to do what we say. I mean, do what we do, not do what we say. So I do that in a capacity. Mostly nowadays, I'm doing it on YouTube, Facebook, and where is it? YouTube. So far, YouTube and Facebook is where I'm the most vocal, the most seen. I have private Facebook groups um, that members that follow me or like my content. When they send me a friend request, I automatically invite you to the private groups that we have. Because in 2018, I began an adventure of betting on myself and investing in myself. After the loss of both my parents, I had to clean up my debt because I did. I had a car repossession. I actually had two car repossessions. I had to file bankruptcy. So my credit kind of took a dive. Um, but fortunate enough for me, I was already a homeowner, so I wasn't really looking to purchase anything else. But I did want to start living my life. First, I had to figure out who I was, what it is that I wanted to do in this phase of my life, because now I'm in the second half of my life where the children are grown and they have their own children. So now it's pretty much just me thinking about what it is that I want to do with my life. How do I want to move forward? Through the opportunity of betting on myself and investing in my education, still not a formal education, but self-taught education has helped me tremendously. because it's brought me to this point of where we're now having this conversation and you're viewing me on this podcast. So as I am investing in myself, growing, I invested in myself to where, because a big part of me wants to be able to help someone. And a lot of times, like I share with you, working in the help field, in the field of human services, we're somewhat limited sometimes as to what we can and cannot do as far as helping families. And a big part of our families was employment, being able to create revenue or get a job to create revenue to keep them out of the things that they were getting into. So by taking this opportunity to bet on myself, it gave me an opportunity to, one, not only invest in myself and learn and grow and develop into a new level of life. It taught me that I'm capable of doing just about anything that I set my mind to. And if I take the steps to do it, that is more than likely going to manifest in my life. And now I actually have the opportunity. I've created such an entity that when someone comes to me or they share a story or they have a need, I may have something to offer them, an opportunity that can help them and benefit them and their family to create a legacy for their family. So I'm pretty excited about that. So, like I said, I do it on Facebook and inside my Facebook groups and on YouTube. And when do I do it? Well, I do it at different times of the day. Sometimes I come on in the morning, sometimes I'm in the afternoon, uh, and sometimes I'm in the evening. Mostly now, I do a lot of things earlier in the day, as I'm adjusting to my new schedule, since I was able to, you know, take my hobby and turn it into a full-time business. So now, as I'm learning all the ropes of being a business owner, what is required, making sure I have all the legal documents and things in place, and sharing the opportunity with so many, I want to make sure that I'm prepared for those when they come, and want to make sure that I am going to be that link that is going to help them to get through some of life challenges, because I face some of them. And when people choose me to work with, they get me. They get 100% me. You're also going to meet our team members as well, and we're going to help you navigate through from beginning to end of starting your business, getting things together. But the most important thing is looking at your finances, because we always say where we don't have the money, we don't, I can't afford it. And I was one of those persons guilty of that too, until 2018, when I realized that I really did have enough to start investing in me. I really did have enough to start building me as an individual. And especially since I was in another phase of life, another stage of life, and I'm learning how to do something different, not necessarily having to answer to someone else, or being my own person, my own entity, my own, being responsible, taking responsibility and accountability for my life is what I pretty much have created here. And the reason why I do what I do is because I've been there. I know what it is to be a young mother, struggling, trying to find housing, trying to find employment, looking for resources, wanting supports that may not be there, and having to do it, having to just do it. You get like 15 seconds to cry. That's all you get. 15 seconds to cry, get it all out, and then you have to move on. Now that over time, taking those 15 seconds to cry, people like to call you strong. They say, oh, you're strong, you're resilient, you can deal with life adversities. But that doesn't mean just because you're strong and you're resilient and that you can deal with life adversities, doesn't mean that you don't feel those effects from not really having that opportunity to have the meltdown and take your life to another plateau, because you have to release the old stuff to bring in the new stuff. And depending upon what your experience was going through or what you're experiencing will determine the level of skills that you're going to need to really get into you and get down with these thoughts in your head. It's not always easy. And being a young mother with raising two children, first of all, I was a young mom, so I didn't know too much about raising two kids that much outside of what I was taught at home, because I was the oldest child. So I had I know what it is to be responsible for my siblings. And raising your children are pretty much the same thing. However, in that process of learning how to pay your bills on time, how to find housing, how to start a budget, how to stick to the budget, what to do when things come up and arise. I had to learn all these things kind of like right on the spot. And many of you do. Many of us have learned right on the spot, because children don't come with instructions. And we pretty much parent the way that we were parented. So that's what I passed down. My family is my biggest why for doing everything that I do, because I strive so hard, and through my period of homelessness, so I had a talk with God, and I asked him, I said, God, if you help me get through this and you help me make a difference in my life, that I will do the same. I will pass it along, not only just from me down to my children, but to every person that I come in contact with that is willing and eager and ready to learn and want to do something different with their life. I'm going to share it. So that's why I do what I do. It may not sound real fabulous at the time, and do I have all the knowledge and skills that you may need? I have some, I don't have all. I'm still acquiring everything. Some other things that I need for me. So as I do that, I enjoy coming and sharing my information that I learned. We talk a lot about becoming better, because that's what it's really all about. Becoming better. One day I just wanted to be better. I just wanted to be better than the situation that I was in. I didn't want to have to worry about my job if I was out of time. And I didn't want to worry about not getting paid because I was out of time. I didn't want to worry about if I have to go and handle a family emergency, getting someone else's permission to go and handle a family emergency, because it's very belittling to yourself. It does something to your confidence and self-esteem when you have to go to someone and you have a family member that may be in crisis, but then the person tells you that you can't go, or that you have to find somebody else to go do it. That takes something away from you, and it leaves a bitter taste in your mouth. And you figure out how to do it. A big part of my work life, I put my children first. They were always first. And I kind of worked my jobs around that. And I was blessed to get a job where I had a little flexibility, being in the field, that sometimes I could just go on and do what I needed to do as I was helping others. So my question to you is, are you ready to go deep? Are you ready to start looking at where you're at presently? And where is it in your life that you could benefit from increases of abundance in your life? Where is it that you need to improve? Where in your life can you benefit from an increase? Is it physical, mentally, spiritually, financially? And where are you currently? Are you working? Are you unemployed? Are you on a fixed income? Are you in between gigs? Or are you newly retired like me? These are all questions that we need to ask ourselves, because at each phase of our lives depends on the needs that we need to have, that we need to take care of. And are we able to take care of those needs? And how well are we at meeting those needs successfully to live a congruent, happy life? You'll hear me talk a lot about values, because I value myself. I value my children. I value that when I go to work in any job I ever had, any job I ever had. I take ownership because those folks that I work with, they no longer are, they're my clients and consumers, but they become a big, large part of my family. So that means that I worry if you are right when we're not together. That means that I pray for you and pray that everything stays well so that you can continue to flourish. And I pray that you continue to water the seeds that I drop on you and the seeds that you pick up along the way, that it's going to help make your life better. So as becoming a better person, it requires you to be in a mental state of being, for better health and wellness and growth in your life. And how are you now and who are you becoming? Who are you now and who are you becoming? Who do you want to become? A lot of times you have to already start to become that person before you actually become the person that obtains all the things that you have. And it sounds a little weird, but it's true. You have to be it first before you have it. And you have to be it. And then you got to start doing it, taking the steps. That's going to make you that better person that you see in your future mirror. Nobody else can do it for you. Everything I've learned over this life is that anything that is going to be beneficial to a human being's life, there are resources, there is help, there's information that you can obtain. But the bottom line is, if you take those resources, the information, and you do nothing with them, guess what you're going to get? 0 and 0 gives you what? 0. But 0 plus 1, that'll give you 1. 0 plus 2 gives you 2. 0 plus 3 gives you 3. So do you see how when you can start out with 0, but each step you take is going to add 1. It's going to add another and another to you. That's going to build you over time and throughout your journey. And it's going to help you to navigate and position yourself better in life. Whether you want a better quality of life, maybe you want to change your neighborhood. Maybe you want to change the schools that your children go to. Maybe you want a better job. And how could you go about getting a better job? Or maybe you want to create your own job and become your own boss and work on your own hours. It's all up to each individual of what it is that they want to do for themselves, what level of accountability and responsibility they want to have for themselves, and how long are you going to continue to wait for someone to come and save the day in your life? It could be a pretty long wait. So when you're looking at your present life, you're looking at some of the life challenges and obstacles that you go through. You need to outline a plan to overcome those challenges and obstacles, because it's not easy. You're talking about changing your whole frame of mind and your state of being in your mind. You're looking at how well are you? Are you physically, mentally, emotionally capable to endure every challenge that you're going to face as you're going through the growth process? Some of us need help to go through and navigate, because sometimes life can beat you down, and then every time you try to raise your head up, something might come along to try to push you back down. But never give up trying to continue to keep lifting your head up. Always continue taking the steps, no matter how many times you get pulled down, pushed back. Those pull downs, pushbacks, things are there to help you grow. It's all in how you respond to them. Most times when I felt myself in a bad situation, or in a situation where I call between a rock and a hard place, was usually the times when I used my power of thinking. I used critical thinking. I looked at the pros, the cons, and the consequences of what it is that I was doing. Most times the choices that I made had positive consequences. So I continued to do more positive things to give me more positive consequences. But there's sometimes where you could do some things that's negative. There's some things where you can have some negative thinking that impacts you and can impede you and even hold you to a freeze if you are going through challenges and obstacles. Scarcity is real, and it's only real up here. If you allow it and you give it power to hold you back, then it will. If you don't, then it won't. Um, but how do you get through those hurdles? How do you get through those challenging parts in life where you feel like you're just falling apart, but you want to hold yourself together? It's okay. That's why I'm here, to let you know that broke crayons still color, a shattered cup can still be pieced back together, and your life is worthwhile taking the steps that you need to take to make it better. Because if you want a better quality of life, the only one that's going to provide it for you is you. So the sooner you get started on it, the better it is for you. Now, as we're going through present life challenges, where we are, where we're moving to, what it is that we want out of life, and what steps we have to take to get there, we have to explore the gems within you. Because you have tools right within you right now that you can utilize today to begin taking steps to change your life. There's resources that you have that are workable and tangible in your life right now today to make a difference in your life. How much time are you willing to dedicate and commit to your plan for a better quality of life, to become better in your life, in the areas of your life that you deem as you would like to have better? In those plans, how committed are you to the action steps? And how committed to you are yourself to becoming better? We all say we want better. However, many of us don't really follow the steps all the way through. We can start out good, but somewhere in the middle, when things get tough, I like to call it the thickness in the middle. The thickness in the middle, it gets all murky and gray and gooey, and you start doubting yourself. Are you strong enough to hold yourself and challenge that doubt and let doubt know that it can no longer live here? Because you are on your path to destiny. You are on your way to excellence. You are on your way to creating a better quality of life for yourself. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. But that's what I do. That's who I am. I'm Tia Rodgers. I'm a mother of 2, grandmother of 11, born and raised in Camden City. I was born in an era where they said that we were not going to amount to much. I was part of the statistics of the young teen mothers, not expected to graduate high school, not expected to attend college, and not expected to make anything out of our lives. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, don't believe the stats, because the stats be lying. I'm not the only one that made it out and made a way. And if we did it, I know you can do it too. Don't be the reason that you are the one holding yourself back. And if you're the smartest person in your group, you might want to find some people that's a little smarter than you, because look around, take an assessment of the people that's around. What are they doing? Are they a positive influence? Are they a good resource? Are they dependable? Are they reliable? What is their present situation? Are they doing well? Are they doing good? Or do they need some help too? Because at some point, we all going to need some help. And I hope and pray that I did a good job, and my children will be there when I need them, but should not. If I do very well and plan well, I should be okay, and be able to have someone there to help me through it all. But those are some of the things that we think about as we begin to get older and as we begin to look at our lives. I wanted to come to you guys and just share with you a little bit about who I am, what it is that I do. I basically just help people. I listen to find out what it is your problems, what is your pain point. And if I have something that I can offer as a resource, as an opportunity to help them, or if I know someone that has what you need, I like to be that link. I like to be that connecting link to help others to get where they're trying to go, because I believe that in this life, we're all meant to be the best person that we can be. And the only way that we can do it is that we have to be able to work together, and you have to be committed to your change. If what I've noticed along the years is that more people were more willing to help me because I was taking the steps to help myself than when I just sat back and was expecting and waiting for someone to help me. Um, Waiting never got me anything. But when I stood up and I start taking responsibility for my life, taking accountability for my life, getting my business in order, handling the things that I needed to handle so that I could have a better quality of life. It was then that I started to begin to see the changes, even though I still went through life challenges. And we'll talk about some of that because we got time to talk about these things. So, we're going to talk about relationships. What do we learn about relationships? Were they positive? Were they negative? Did they help you grow? Maybe you were the problem in the relationship. I noted a couple of times that sometimes I was the problem in the relationship, so I had to work on that. It's not easy to really look at the man in the mirror and look at the parts that you don't really like about yourself, and you have to decide, can I improve this? Can I make it better? Or is it something I should throw away? And then the parts of you that you love about yourself, how do you do more of that and enhance it more in your life so that you have the joy and happiness and peace and wellness and love that you want in your life? We're going to go down that path and we're going to discuss a lot of different topics. But I just wanted to let you know who I was, what it is that I do. And you see where I'm doing it. I'm here live with you on the podcast. You'll catch me live on Facebook. You'll catch me live inside our private groups. And I'm always going to be talking about finances because finances is a big part of everything that we do. You can't do it without it. Money isn't everything, but you need it just like the air we breathe. Currency is just an exchange of products, services, and goods. But if you don't have the currency, what products, services, and goods are you going to be able to purchase? If you don't know how to budget it and manage it, how long are you going to hold on to it? And if you were to get a large lump sum at one time, how well would you be at investing it to make sure that you could be growing it for years and years to come? These are things that we're not taught right away, but it's something that you can learn over time. And the more you learn, the better you do it. And when do I do it? I do it whenever people reach out to me. I do it whenever someone needs someone to talk to, or if I come across someone and find out what it is they're doing and how I can help them. And when do I do it? I do it whenever I get a chance, every moment. But every conversation isn't a help conversation. Some conversations are just really good, genuine conversations where you just meet wonderfully beautiful people that not only add and contribute to your life, but it enhances your life. That's the most beautiful thing about this journey that I love so far. I've met a lot of people that I've met them virtually. I have yet to meet them in person, but they have added and contributed so much to my life. And I hope that I was able to contribute something back to them as well, because I don't want to just come and take. I want to take and I want to give. I want to give and I want to receive as well. It's an even exchange. And it's amazing how you can meet people and find out, even if you are in different income brackets, you find out that we're really not that different. We really all pretty much want the same thing. We want a better quality of life. We all want to have a little extra money to do some of the things that we want to do and not necessarily have to do, but we want to be able to enjoy our families. We want to be able to take them and show them adventures and experiences in life. We want to be able to do those little things that you may not necessarily be able to do all the time because of the factors that you have to work to earn money, that you have to go outside of your home and earn money, and you may not necessarily be able to get the time off to do it. So we understand that. And why do I do it? I do it because I enjoy helping people. I enjoy helping people in a variety of ways. The first way I help you is by listening to you, because I have to listen to your story. I have to listen to why you chose me to come and tell your story to, and why you think I can help you. Then And only then can I then look at the information that we have ahead and then start helping you in different areas of where it might be beneficial and helpful to you. Is it for everybody? No. And here's why, because everybody's not willing to be accountable and responsible for themselves. They're not willing to go through the crunch time and the munch times and the, squats. I like to say squats, doing squats. That's to strengthen your muscles, any type of workout, lifting weights, things of that nature. It takes dedication, it takes daily action, and it takes a commitment to do it every day. And working out, I don't think you work out every day, but every other day depends on what kind of workout you're doing, high impact, low impact. But all of that working out helps build muscles. It helps to make your body more limber, more flexible, more stretchable, and it gives you, it infuses you with energy. Stimulates your brain, it stimulates your mind, and gets you off to a good start. And we want to keep you elevated at that level so that you can enhance it and rise even higher. But it's the process and it doesn't happen overnight. But if you got the time, I got the time. So I want to thank you for listening to me. I want to thank you for waiting for me to come back to you all. I kind of miss doing a podcast. So I hope you will join us for our next gathering on next Monday at 10 a.m. This is going to post a little later today because I'm getting back on track. So today is the one day that it's going to be a little later. And then we're going to go back to our regular scheduled program at 10 a.m. So I look forward to seeing you guys. And if you like the content that we share, please like, share, invite people to come and join us. If you follow us on Facebook, please do. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram. I think that's pretty much all. I think we're even on Twitter, but I don't really understand Twitter that much, so I don't really go on there that much. But we're going to get down to the nitty gritty, and I hope that we can help some people. I think our wellness package just got delivered, so we're going to be making baskets. So with that being said, remember that you are a winner. From the time that you were conceived in your mother's womb, you were born with all that you have inside of you. Go out here and be amazing, ladies and gentlemen. Have a blessed, amazing week. And if you were like me, or if you're like me, a young woman raising children, you might be doing it alone. Guess what? You too can make it. You too can raise a healthy, loving, healthy, happy family and have the dollars to match it so that you can show your children new life adventures, share some exciting things with them, teach them some new skills in financing so that they too can prepare themselves ahead of the game. Let's get ready and stay ready so we don't have to get ready. All right? Have a blessed day, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.